for Black girl nerds.
The Available Wife was something else.
So you watched it? You watched the whole thing?
Yeah. I had to meet the brains behind this because these people had a lot going on, and I love the twists and turns because I thought every time I thought something was going one way, things shifted totally to the left, and I was riveted. But we're going to get into that. I want to talk about your personal journey first because that's super duper exciting. So I'm aware that you were part of the BET initiative, the Her initiative, and all of that came about from a project with short films. For our readers and our viewers who aren't as familiar, could you fill us in a little bit about that process and how you landed into bringing The Available Wife to life?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I'm a book publisher by trade. I've been publishing books since 2001. So I've obviously had 18, 19 years of experience with just content. And so The Available Wife was actually a book that's written by Carla Penns, written in 2008. And we've always wanted to bring that book to life. Like, we've been really excited about doing books to film for a long time. And what I wanted to do was, out of the 164 books that are in my catalog, I said, well, which ones are going to just catch people instantly? And so we picked about 5 movies and we said, let's shoot these movies literally from 2016 to 2020. And let's start a movement. And boy, did we do that. Available Wife, Secrets, All In. These were a few projects that we shot independently. We've licensed all of them to BET. And because of the success and the look of those films, I got the opportunity and the invite to do the BET Her Health initiatives, to bring that skill set to them. And so that's kind of how it came about, just a relationship of shooting all of these films independently and really just proving myself, to be honest.
I'm glad you mentioned that, the look of the film. That was something that was very striking to me. I mean, it looks really good. It's well shot. It looks really, really good. And I was, pondering how many times that I talk to independent filmmakers and some of the challenges that they have of bringing their products to life, and just how difficult it is to shoot a film, whether it be a short film or a full-length feature film.
For sure.
What were some of the challenges you faced along the way? Because it's very motivating and inspiring to see an independent filmmaker bring all these projects to life in the manner of which you did.
Yeah, I think for me, the unique situation is that Megamind Media, that's my production house, it's a family-run business. And because of that, we have the full support of the whole family. I mean, everybody, all hands on deck. And so for funding, we go to our family. And so we're probably, the average filmmaker, when they share with me their stories about they can't find funding, that's not us, because we have that family that are pulling together to make these projects happen. Now, when you go to BET and you do the health initiatives, they fund those projects. So you don't have a funding issue because it's for the network. But definitely the ones that we do individually, like the Available Wife, like Secrets. I'm not sure if you know, but last year our movie All In won ABFF. We were the best feature film, All In. And so that was really inspiring for us. And I think that was the moment where we said, wow, if we are able to do this with our own money and just pulling together as a family, we got to keep doing this. And so that's what we did. And we're now slated to do 8 movies over the next 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So is that the true path? If you were mentoring a young filmmaker, can that path work for most young filmmakers, by truly investing in their family and calling upon their family to fund their films? Or is that just what works for you?
Yeah, I think for me, I'm really honest, because I do a lot of mentoring. I used to be a school teacher, and so that part of my life has never left me. So I mentor all the time. I have groups where I help young filmmakers, but I tell them the truth. Yeah, your family might not be the one, but give it a shot. I don't want to give you false hopes, but if it worked for me, it could possibly work for you. I'm sure that there are some families that are tight knit and who have the resources to make it happen. You can't get blood from a turnip, right? So if you go and you try to do that and your grandma would say, get out of here, you're trying to get my, then that's not working. But for me, my mom, my dad, my brother, my sister, everybody was on board. I also had a track record as a businesswoman. I owned a publishing house, right? And so they saw the success of that. They know my work ethics. So I think it's a lot easier to invest in people when you know their work ethics.
That's beautiful. I'm happy to hear that, because so many times you hear, oh, you can't do business with your family.
Oh,
And to see
I
a
can debunk
strong
that
Black,
myth.
I love that it's a strong Black family unit that
Yeah,
is really giving birth to this baby, and creating a legacy. Who knows what the next ones behind you are going to do within the family? They
for
may
sure.
own the whole,
Yeah. Yeah,
like,
because they all work in the business. Everybody. Everybody.
that is fantastic.
Yeah.
So with the available wife, before we talk about like some of the story plots and
Yeah.
things, just shooting in the time of COVID and having all these restrictions and
Oh,
things, how long did it take to film, and what was that process like for all of you? Did you try to squeeze it all like in one day so it could be like one round of
yeah.
testing, or how did that go for you?
So let me just make sure I'm giving you correct information. Available Wife was not shot during COVID. That was shot in
Oh,
2019.
oh,
The
okay.
BET Her projects were the ones shot during COVID.
Oh,
Uh,
okay. So
yeah.
let's talk about those and
Yeah,
those restrictions.
absolutely. And so the restrictions were very tough. The great thing for me is that these were shot as episodics.
Mhm.
So I was able to shoot 4 movies in 8 days. And every 2 days we switched out the cast and directors. So
Mhm.
Vanessa Bell Calloway, Cheryl Lee Ralph, Kim Fields, Victoria Raoul, those were my directors.
Mhm.
And so they would come in, they had their date to come in, and within 2 days they were back home. So everybody got tested right before they got to me, and then they didn't have to get tested again because they went home. Now
Mhm.
I'm shooting a movie right now as we speak called Holiday Heartbreak, and we have to get tested every 3 days.
Oh, wow. Oh,
So
wow.
it's a difference, right? But that's because this is a longer film. So
Right.
shooting during COVID has definitely changed everything. It's something that you really have to plan for and figure out how to get it done. We have a female African American doctor who's going to come to set for us and do our clinics.
That's
So
awesome.
although she's not a family member, I was like, find somebody that at least look like she could be my cousin.
Wow. I'm floored. That is just so outstanding. Just this whole process. And I've only been talking to you about 3 or 4 minutes now, and I'm feeling pumped like,
Yeah.
what can I get my cousins out there doing with me?
It's the year of women, and it's the year of family. Seriously, I think COVID has made us all realize that we have to cling closer to our families.
Mhm.
I think it's probably brought a lot of families together. I've always been, my grandmother's words were always like, you got to stick with your family. You may not like them all the time, but stick with them. And
That's
I just chose to do business with mine.
That's awesome. So is you say you're a publisher? So
Yeah.
is the how-to book coming of how to, let's see, what can we brainstorm at? How to create films with your family
Yeah.
without turning into like the Hatfields and the McCoys or something
Right,
like that.
right. I love it. That's a good little title, right? No, no, but seriously, it's something that I talk about a lot. I do a lot of teachings on like Zoom, Periscope. I do it on Instagram Live, and I really just give my knowledge. I love doing it, even though I stopped being a teacher back in 2003. That part of me has never left. That is totally my passion. So at every moment of my life, I feel like that's my job, to empower, to motivate, to educate. And so I always, any young filmmakers who want to hop on any of my lives, I'm at CEO Azarel. Hop on and just ask your questions because I'm full of information and always willing to share.
I'm not a filmmaker, but I think I'm gonna hop on because I love like master class types
Yeah,
of learning
yeah,
opportunities, and they help me be a better journalist. So I'm definitely gonna hop on with you for sure
yes.
and learn a few ins and outs.
I
So
love it.
back with the available wife, some good veteran. I saw some good familiar faces in there and some good young talent who are bringing the story to life. Uh, Talk to me about your illustrious cast from KJ Smith, the Clifton Powell.
Ooh. Mm.
Terrific cast who really brought life to the story.
Yeah, and you know what? I felt really good about that cast because one of the things we try to do at Mega Mind Media is always to merge the old with the new.
Mhm.
And that's really important because there's certain staple people in the industry who've already paved the way for all of us.
Mhm.
And I always want to make sure we put them in the film. So for us, there's the Roger Guinevere Smith, there's the Clifton Powell, and just having their presence and their leadership on set means a lot for us. And then, we have the new fresh talent. We have Terrell Hill, who came in and just killed the role.
Killed
We
it.
have KJ Smith, who I was like, I don't think I could have picked a better Nicole. Like the moment that I saw her, I was like, whoa. I knew before we even got any dailies that she was the one.
Mhm.
Hands down, she was the one. And so we're just really excited about that. We even have some singers in there. We have R&B singer Raheem Devon,
Yep.
because he wants to get into acting.
I saw Genuine.
Yep, Genuine.
Yep.
Yep,
Wow.
yep.
It was like it was. What would you say was a perfect storm of when
Oh,
you
yeah.
were, or was it even a storm at all? Just bringing all these talented people together, the cast people.
Yeah, I think that for me, every time that we pick our cast, we spend a lot of time on casting. I literally just wrapped on my holiday heartbreak cast, but I was studying that thing like I was taking a test for my PhD for sure. It's what makes or breaks your movie, to be honest.
Hmm.
So I spent a
Absolutely.
lot of time just really strategizing and making sure it makes the most sense. But I'm
Mhm.
happy with that available wife cast. Legendary.
I mean, they just all worked. So Roger was killing. Roger was so good. He was
Yeah,
so
Roger was
good.
crazy. I don't know what he wants you to see. Yeah, he was so amazing. He was so good.
I can
Yeah.
think of a lot of things that I've seen him in the past. So it was good to see, him make a return to the screen. So why the available why? What drew you? I mean, it's a hell of a tale. What drew you to that initially to that story?
Yeah, I think for me, I tried to take so I looked at all of the books that we have, right? So because we want to do book to film. So I looked at the books in our catalog and I said, okay, what are the stories that we know will entertain people? We have thrillers. Everybody knows thrillers, entertain people. But I said I want to do something that's not a thriller, but I want to try to do something that is along those lines that'll keep us on the edge of our seats. And so I picked about 4 movies that I thought that could accomplish that, and Available Wife was one. And I'm so glad I made that decision.
How is the release going to go for available wife? Because I need some other people to see this so we can get on Twitter and really talk about this film because it's something else.
Yeah, so let me say this. It's going to go to UMC, Urban Movie Channel, for streaming. It's
Mhm.
going to BET for linear. And then it's going to go to a lot of other platforms for any type of AVOD.
Mhm. With shooting films, I've seen a lot of discussion before about how there might be people on set who aren't familiar with doing like black hair or black makeup or just bringing our people to their best when they appear on screen, but everybody in this film was flawless. Are these family members too
Yeah,
who are available for
I
hire?
was just getting ready to say family members. My sister is a celebrity stylist by trade, so it's not like I had to teach her to do this. That was her job.
Mhm.
Um, Hair, a cousin, right? So when I tell you whole family production, this is a divine thing that the Lord literally gave us this, because there's how ironic is it that everything you need is right there with your family,
We need,
everything.
we need to bring grandma in here. I want to talk
Yeah.
to grandma
Right.
because
No,
grandma is truly
seriously.
the queen mother who brought
Yes.
is grandma into the industry too, or
No, not at all.
was she
She's
just
just
the
proud.
vessel?
Yeah, she's just proud and just kind of in awe. Like, wait a minute, y'all are really doing this. I remember when I first told my family that I wanted to do a movie, they were like, "Oh, she's probably serious. I don't know how she's gonna do it." But they know, again, they know my dreams and how I come up with all of this. And so they was like, "Well, she built a publishing company from ground up, so I guess she really is gonna build a movie company from ground up." But they were definitely just trying to figure out, okay, what's her plan this time? But the great thing is that it's not like we're just saying we're doing this job and we're just putting in unskilled people. These are skilled people who know what they're doing, and it shows in the product.
You are a force. Do you ever think that you would like to maybe transition into the role of more like the studio head? I mean, you are, but
Yeah,
move into a different role within your company.
For sure, for sure. I definitely think that that's in the future. There just has to be some levels of accountability where people care about the brand before we do that. Because a lot of times when people grow too big, their brand diminishes and it gets watered down because you're just now bringing in people who don't care about it as much as you do.
Mm-hmm. So what is it? So what is the like the 5-year plan look like for
Oh,
Megamind? What does that look like?
I love that kind of talk. Within the next 5 years, we're going to have at least 4 TV series and 16 new movies.
Okay, so can we have the scoops? Are you in the process of selling the series, or is it
Yeah,
a secret?
so no, it's no secret. So typically what we do is we go into development. We're in development right now, all of those projects, and you basically are pitching and talking to the networks to decide where these projects will land. So,
Mm-hmm.
we're in talks with about 5 different networks right now. And
Mm-hmm.
so some of them will land, with one company, some of them will land with another. Until you sign on a dotted line, you really never know where they're going to land. There's a movie that I do know specifically. It's called A Rich Christmas. I'm going to be doing that movie in December, and that one is going to land at Viacom.
Nice,
Yeah.
very nice.
Yeah.
It with that, what is more appealing to you as you pitch these projects? Are you more a fan of, say, the Netflix, kind of path where you get all the episodes at once and you can watch the whole thing in its entirety? Do you like episodic presentation? Like, what is ideal to you as a creator?
You know what? I'm not opposed to any of it, honestly, because as a creator, you just want to make sure that it looks good, number one, and that people will enjoy. I think from the perspective of the delivery side, a film delivery is a little bit easier, right? Because for episodic, you're going to always, delivery process is definitely going to be more difficult. But I think as a creator, I just want to create some good stuff that will make people react the way that you did when you first came on. I want to introduce you to Leslie too. We're doing a quick interview. She was talking about the creators and our family. So Leslie is literally my blood cousin, and she wrote a lot of the books that are
Oh,
turned into movies.
yes, we are talking about The Available Wife, and The Available Wife is
So she wanted to meet our grandmother. She's like, "Where's your grandmother?" So I told her, yeah. So I just wanted you to say hello to her.
Hello, nice meeting you.
It is nice meeting you too. It is so beautiful and it's so inspiring to see a strong family, a family working together, a Black family working together, and just creating all this excellence, which goes into, I mean, we could talk about other conversations about that, creating generational wealth, things
For
leaving for
sure.
the family, a
sure.
legacy, all
Yeah.
of those things. So I am very, very happy to meet you. And I'm trying to get my family on the phone today and see what we can do.
I love it. Well, you look like you could be our cousin too. So we cousins.
Are you Louisiana?
No, we're from North Carolina.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hey, we cousins.
That's right. We cousins. It's done.
We're cousins for real. So in the next 5 years, pitching more shows, pitching more movies,
Yeah.
writing more books, doing more hair, becoming
Yeah.
ultimately coming the one-stop shop for creators,
And
or
for Black, and for making sure that we increase awareness for Black excellence. Like, we want to make Black people look good. There are enough movies out there that make us look bad. When you see us on the screen, we should look good, period. I don't care what the genre is. I don't care if it's a horror movie. Make sure we look good.
Mm-hmm. Is there a genre that you haven't gone into yet that you like? Like you mentioned horror. Is
Yeah,
horror next on the horizon?
yeah. I'm not gonna do horror, but I'm definitely gearing up for a lot of thrillers.
Mm.
A lot of thrillers. Yeah.
So if we're casting, let's say there's no budget limitations and we're casting the next film, if you could have like your dream cast, we won't say what project it is, because when you eventually cast it, I don't want the cast to be like, well, you didn't even want me. I was the second choice. If you could have your dream cast for a project, who would you like to pull from out there that you really, really enjoy?
Oh, there's so many people. I would say I'll pick 2 people for a guy, 2 people for a lady. Idris Elba
Oh, yes.
and Omari Hardwick.
Oh, good.
Okay, love those 2. And then on the female side, there's so many. Regina Hall and Regina King.
Ooh, that's very, very good. I was watching something with Regina. She's so funny, and I love when they put her in comedic things. And then our other Regina is just
Yeah, no, love, love,
Excellent,
love.
excellent,
Yeah.
excellent. So what's well, we know what the 5-year plan is looking like. What's the plan looking for you to close out 2020? Because this has been a pretty tumultuous year, but you're making it happen. So
Oh,
how are
yeah.
we going to close out 2020?
Well, we just started on Holiday Heartbreak. So that stars Lisa Ray McCoy.
Ooh,
Um, we have AJ Johnson, Michael Collier, tons of funny comedians. And then we're gonna turn right around. We're gonna shoot A Rich Christmas, which we don't have our official cast yet, but we're gonna end 2020 shooting A Rich Christmas.
amen. I'm very, very, I've just met you. I'm very proud of you, and I'm very
Thank you
happy
so much.
to just see the work that has been coming forth from you, from your family. And wow, I'm feeling very pumped up and
Oh,
very
thank you so
inspired.
much. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Well, it is a pleasure to talk to you. I hope I get to talk to you again soon. Or if
Yeah.
you just want to talk, hey, pop
Absolutely.
on the
Make sure we follow each other. DM me so I can follow you back.
Zoom.
My Instagram is CEO
Okay.
and then Azarel, Azarel. And again, I do those lives all the time when we just get on my Instagram live and we just talk about the business.
Well, I'm definitely jumping on. I appreciate your time greatly. Continue to stay safe there with your family and with your projects. And I can't wait for people to see this movie so we can get on Twitter. Maybe we'll do like a little Twitter event and do a little live
Yeah.
tweet or something. That'd
Oh,
be
that would be
super
great.
cool.
I love it.
All right.
All
Thank
right.
you
Talk
so much.
soon, sis. I
Have a
see you at
wonderful
the
day.
family reunion.
I'll be there. I'll bring the potato salad.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Better shake your booties for black girl nerves. Better shake your booties for black girl nerves.